So I don't know about you, but I have had an issue with my H145 since Sim Update 2 came into play several weeks ago. As you can see in the thumbnail here, I have a texture issue. I'm also unable to take off in this aircraft or my H160, and it's been very confusing for us to get this working between the forums, Discord, and Hype's website. The information is very spread out, so I thought I would combine this into one video. We're going to start out right here in my community folder, where you can see I have the H145, the action pack, the setup, and then the same set of files for the 160. I am going to delete those. And you can see that down below, I actually have 4 pieces of documentation already downloaded into this community folder. The 500 upgrade for the action pack, the base build 500 upgrade, Hype Ops Center version 1.0.49, as well as the Microsoft Flight Simulator layout generator. Tongue twister. So once we have that cleared, we're going to go into the Hype Ops Center, which I already have loaded, and I'm going to remove all of the data from this. It says it's not detected. I'm going to go back to the home and come into the 160, do the same thing, manage the installation. It's not detected. All right, all of this has been successfully removed. Now what I am going to do is start out with the 145, and I'm going to manage the installation here. And I'm going to first install version 491. This is the base pack. This is an initial step that a lot of these forums are not telling you about. This is a very important step. You need this version to make this process work. And I am going to be doing this in real time. As we know, we like to do this live. So as this loads in here, it's just going to take a little bit of time, but this is a real world timing of how long this process takes. Feel free to skip forward if you'd want to. The links in the description will be available for the Hype Performance Group website and for the base upgrade to build 500 for the 145, as well as the action pack build 500 upgrade. All of the links to the layout generator are going to be down below in the description. If they're not working at the time of publishing for this, don't worry, I will get to that as soon as the stream is complete. So all of that information will be available in one spot sooner than later. Now, as you can see, this is also doing the base pack for the 145. And it is regenerating the folders systems for the 145, the 145 action pack. And it should also put one more folder in place for the 145 as well before this process is complete. Hopefully everybody knows by now how to get to the community folder for their Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I recommend putting together a shortcut for it to make it easy for you if you're going to be in and out of these systems as frequently as most of us have been. And here you can see the action pack expansion zip folder being downloaded now. And there is the H145 user setup menu in the community folder now. And this is almost complete. Does take a while to extract these, but it is worth the effort. We will see once this process is completed just how well this has worked. And there is the Action Pack build 491. It does say upgrade, but we do have upgrades to build 500 for both the base and Action Pack coming up here momentarily. Now that that is done, we will open up the zip file for the Airbus H145 build 500 upgrade. I'm going to select this from our WinZip and just drag it in. It's going to move these over and tell me that there's probably going to be some conflicts for destination files that already exist. I want to replace those. It does hang for a little bit at one portion or another during this process while it both deletes and replaces all of these files. Again, it is a little bit of a timely process, but it does work. And we should see those results here momentarily. After the Build 500 upgrade is completed, being copied into our community folder, we're going to then move over to the Build 500 for the Action Pack as well. So now that that one's complete, now we'll open up the zip file for the Action Pack 500. And we're going to drag and drop that on top of the AP. Extract it. There we go. That is done as well. So now what we need to do is go to the home. We're going to come up to the 160, manage the installation, and we're going to do build 48 for the 160 if you have this aircraft. If not, this is obviously a step that you could skip. And again, all of the links to these files will be available in the description of the video. If they don't work yet, please have patience with me. I will get those up and running here momentarily. I'm not sure if the links stayed intact or not just yet, but we will definitely get those fixed as soon as possible for you. And here we go, starting to move a little bit quicker with the unzipping. And that is all complete. And now for the fun part. What we need to do is take the right mouse click and open the H145 Airbus's main folder right here and open that up in a new window. And you're going to see this thing called Layout. We're going to highlight and click and drag that on top of the MSFS layout generator and let that hit. We're going to then open up this file again. And you can see here that we have the HPG H145. And if you open this up in a new window, you'll see that it does not have the layout available here, so nothing to drag from there. Then we're going to go into the Action Pack version, open this up in a different window, highlight and drag layout to the MSFS layout generator, let that hit, come back up to the H145 setup, do the same thing, take the layout, drag it over, and then we're going to move into the H160. Again, opening it up in a new window, take the layout, drag it on over. The H160 user setup, open it up in a new window, layout. I'm going to drag that over to the layout generator as well. And that, my friends, should do it. So now once you have all of that in place, what we're going to do is hopefully slide directly from here into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and get this H145 up in the air so we can do search and rescue missions in free flight once again. What you can also do is go down to the Hype Ops Center, and you'll see that you can't open that up in a different menu because this is an executable file, so there's nothing to drag and drop from there. At this point, that should be everything you need to launch the simulator. So we can start to close all of these files out, and we'll see here that we have on the home page the H160 is correct with build 48, but the H145 still has an Action Pack build of 491. So inside of this, we know we dragged and dropped that over there. If you open it up in a new window again, you can see that this H145 here also does not have that layout generator file to move over, so we can just close that and move on. So far, a pretty quick process. We're talking around maybe 10 minutes or so to get that done. Not too horrible. I am also very much looking forward to the MH60 being released here very, very soon if all goes well. We all know how much we are looking forward to that aircraft being added into our hangars as well. Once again, we are live, and this is, again, only taking 10 minutes to make these repairs to the H145 and H60, 160, I should say, and hopefully we should have a positive result here once we get this loaded in. And again, once we verify that this is all working, I'll be going back into the description, making sure that all of the links are active for this. I do apologize if you've tried already and they haven't worked while we're doing this live, but we'll get those working for you here soon. I do know that quite a few people have already completed this process successfully. I, on the other hand, have been quite busy as of late and haven't been able to get this to work. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was between then and now, but we'll get verification here shortly if this has actually worked. Curious to know if you guys are experiencing the same issues with your 145s or if you've already got yours back up and running. And as you can see here, my pilot's face is no longer visible in the career mode. For some reason, that flips out and it may or may not come back in the future. We shall see. We're going to come over here to something on the East Coast here. Let's just slide in right over to Wallops Flight Facility. We'll set that as a departure, and we'll change up the time a little bit here to be the daylight. And we'll go ahead and start the flight with the 145 in a U.S. Coast Guard variant, and hopefully we have our textures and activation issues resolved. Again, really quick video. We're at about the 15-minute mark now, and it's looking pretty good. I do know that it does take a little bit while for this aircraft to load back in once these changes have been made. We will still get that large pop of the rotors once we get into the aircraft. That still has not been fixed. And here we go, loading in. Starts off a little bit choppy, and then it starts to smooth out just a little bit. We are up and running. Inside the aircraft, all of my textures have been fixed. Our pilot, co-pilot are coming in, and our activation issues are gone. All of the controls systems are back up and running. The map system is available. It has been upgraded. You can continue to search out your HEMS missions, or if you use any of the other variants, I'm sure those missions are going to be available. Whether or not they all work yet, I haven't been through, but as you can see, we now have a working H145 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It took me a little while to get it done. Not sure exactly what the issue was, but make sure that you completely delete everything from your community folder before you start this process. Download everything you need: the base pack, the action pack for the 145, the 500 build. Extremely important for this, but again, start off with that older 491 version and then continue to update from there, and you should be good to go. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on the links in the description. Make sure you have everything you need nice and consolidated, and like I said, it's always a blast. It's been a ball, ladies and gentlemen. For now, that's it. That's all.